Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I had to drop that one time for the one time. Hello. How are y'all? I am Matt. This is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. As always, I am joined by my man, D Rose. How you doing this week, man?
We back, and good to be back. And it been good, but things been good over here. I tell you, just as far as bets go, man, I've gotten to the point to where I don't know if I should consider doing this anymore. I mean, it's gotten to the point to where it's just turned into weekly donations. You know, some bets that some of the legs fell apart very early on, but from heavy favorites too. So a little disappointing on that part, but been okay other than that, I suppose. How have things been your way?
Yeah, man. I got to be honest. I couldn't pick my nose this past weekend. I was like wrong on a whole shit ton of fights. If I would just, I say like if I would just pick my places and just shoot for it, but like the places that I'm the most confident on are the places that are wrong. So it's like the ones I'm like on are the ones that I end up getting right, but the ones I'm so confident on are the ones that I end up being dead wrong on. So who the hell
It makes you
knows, dude?
question like the whole setup of this whole damn sportsbook thing is like, you feel good about a pick and then it goes wrong, and then the so pick is the one that hits. Okay, so it's like, there's something fishy with these sports books sometimes that makes you wonder sometimes.
Indeed. But hey, I won the one thing that matters this week, but we'll get into that. But real quick, before we get into the show, if you don't know how the layout works on the show, real quick, we are going to run down this past weekend's fights, actually, just for a second, because let's be honest, this past weekend's fights, I'm not trying to curse before 5 minutes, weren't too good. So I stopped Dorian. We will be going into our UFC fight news and announcements. Right after that. And then lastly, closing out the show, we will be making our picks and previewing this weekend's pay-per-view, UFC 288, Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo, the Funk Master versus Triple C. It's going to be a good one. So real quick before we get started, we got Lush Lomain in here early. How you doing, brother? Glad you were in
What's
here.
What's up, Lomain?
Yeah, he says they back.
We bike, baby.
We got Benjamin Chode in here. What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Bruce Buffer with the intro.
Lush Lomain, same here. Been missing by one of my parlays, bro. It happens. But hey, dude, the pay-per-views are the ones that's the ones that I usually win on, dude. Like those 4 to 9 leg parlays. I'm feeling confident this weekend. I already have 2 bets in. One's just kind of like just the straight up every person I think is going to win. I really don't know if that one's going to hit or not. But I have a 7 leg that I feel pretty confident about this week already. So we'll get into that in the show. We got Shadow in here. Yeah, you pulled Tank Abbott right. Better than Combs not one of them, baby. Definitely not. And we got Johnny Longcourt in here. Got my Jamal Hill mojo today. Congratulations, brother. I'm glad it got to you safe. I love to hear that. Hopefully everything is good. I package all my shit super well, and hopefully that it gets to you safely. So congratulations. I'm glad that you got that, and I'm glad that everything was safe when it got to you. Hell yeah, brother. Dorian, he hit a Jamal Hill out of 25. The card looks sick as all hell. I think I might have a picture of it. I did post it up on my Instagram before I sent everything out, but yeah, I'm not gonna pull it up right now. But it was pretty sick. Dorian's like, okay.
Hey, Jamal Hill's a G too, so.
Yeah, and he says, thank you for the extra optic cards and select on top. Yeah, man. With pretty much everyone besides 170, I just threw a whole bunch of extra cards in just because, I have a bunch of shit lying around here and I need to get rid of it. But it's not worth enough to sell, so it's just like, what do I do? I just give it away for the most part. But that being said, Dorian, let's get started real quick. This past weekend's fights, real quick. I personally said the card wasn't that good. The card was kind of ass. I'm going to be honest. We're past 5 minutes now. That card was booty.
Barely past 5 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
by the skin of your teeth, 5 minutes.
5 minutes and 30 seconds in, we got our first ass. Dude, that card was ass, dude. It was dude, it was terrible. I would give me your thoughts and opinion. Sorry, I got caught up reading the chat here.
Yeah. So, I mean, decent card overall. I mean, did you just want to dive right into the main event from last week, or
Like just
I mean, you've seen some decent performances. You know, a couple from some up and comers, but for the most part, it was a little lackluster. I think it was more just lackluster in name, because I mean, if you look at the main card, I mean, the last 4 fights, I mean, they all were finishes. You know, so maybe we're being a little bit greedy as fans. You know, maybe wanting more, but I did feel, you know, because I didn't get to watch the whole card, but I know a lot of the fans are saying, I guess there was like a dip in the middle of the card that it was a real slow edge. I ended up watching most of the main card and went back and watched some of the prelim fights, but yeah, I mean, I thought the card overall was decent, but not the greatest, of course.
All right, just real quick. Song Yadong knocks out Ricky Simon in the 5th round. So late 5th round. So everyone had questions. The Song Kanong fight late into the 5th round. This is power carry. It definitely answered there. So Song Kanong gets the 5th round finished. Kaya Bahayo submits Mikhail Osejek in round number 2. Adolfo Vieira submits Cody Brundage in round number 2 in our first different pick of the week for the pick champ. So keep that in mind. Fernando Padilla does knock out Julian Erosa with the cleanest hands I've seen in a while. Round 1, knockout, 1:40 in round 1. Marcos Rogerio de Lima does defeat Salsa Boy Waldo Cortez Acosta via decision. Trey Waters does defeat Josh Quinlan via decision. Prelims real quick. I want to run through this. Martin Bidet does defeat Jake Collier to decision. Cody Durden defeats Charles Johnson decision. Stephanie Egger loses to Irina Alexeyeva, the Russian Ronda, round 1 knee bar at that. Marcus McGee submits Journey Newson round 2. And Jamie Lynn Horth does defeat Haley Cowan via decision. So just real quick, because I missed it and we need to get this out of the way. We had 3 different picks this past weekend. Me and Dorian every single week have 3 or 5 different picks that we put this pick champ up on the line. I didn't have it this past week, but I got it now because Dorian picked Haley Cowan against Jamie Lynn Horth. I did pick Jamie Lynn Horth. He did pick he did pick Cody Brundage against Adolfo Vieira, and I picked Adolfo Vieira. And Dorian, what was the last one? And the one that he did get right this week was Marcos Rogerio de Lima against Waldo Cortez Acosta. I did pick Salsa Boy Waldo Cortez Acosta, and Dorian picked Marcos Rogerio de Lima. You had a chance to pick some other ones this past week, man, and you just happened to pick the wrong ones.
Well, I wish we had talked about it. I picked the Padilla and the Rosa fight correctly. I just wasn't brave enough to actually put it in the picks. But maybe I should have went ahead and put that one in instead of the Brundage one. But I had a lot of confidence in Brundage, but for no reason though, because he went and absolutely blew it.
So with that being said, I do have to announce and new this week, baby. Dorian had it for a week, but it is back on this side. Dorian, I had to let you know, man. And old Kyle in the chat saying that he was going to hear that and still next week. What now, Kyle? What now, brother?
Hey, man, freaking Brundage, man, just absolutely shitting the fight away, and we can get into it, but man, that might have been one of the more frustrating pick champ losses, just as the way that he lost it. That was definitely a heartbreaker.
Yeah. But I guess before we start talking about these cards, let me shout out Rip Rocky real quick. Hey guys, won't be in here long. Got to work in the morning, but Fung Master slaps a smile off cocky, washed up Triple C. What a very, very bold.
Thanks for stopping by, Rocky.
And the Shadow saying, I'm confused as to why they even booked a rematch between Amanda Nunes after she whooped Pena's behind. I'm so thankful that Renee Aldana got the fight. And we'll get into that. So with that being said, dude, main event, Song Yadong just pretty much didn't lose any part of that fight. He was just beating Ricky Simon up all 5 rounds before he knocked him out for the most part. Any other takeaway from that fight?
Yeah, I thought that I really thought this was a level up moment for Song Yadong, and a lot of people were questioning whether he was kind of top 10 material because he's had a few wins, but the Sandhagen fight, he got stopped there late with that big cut, and a lot of people were wondering if he was of the top 10. But I think with that performance, Ricky Simone, he is a very tough fighter, and he's seen a lot of tough fighters at that division. He's been in the UFC since about 2018 or so, and he's fought a lot of the top guys. And I thought Song, just that left hook that he kept landing, dude, it was Alex Pereira like. He just kept landing it. It was absolute money. He dropped him late. I think late in the 4th round, at the end of the 4th round, and in the 5th round, he just followed up with that left hook and just beat him to a pulp with it, man.
I'm actually glad that you pointed that out because I think in between 4 and 5, I was like, damn, his eyes were glazed over, dude. I was like, he's not back yet. I can already tell, like, his eyes were like, looked like he just like smoked a blunt or something. Like they were like glazed, dude.
Dude, he was getting pounded for the most part. I mean, he was putting up like a good effort because he did get dropped there in the 2nd round too, and he ended up shooting and getting back into the fight. But for the most part, he pretty much got beat pillar to post. And even though we predicted Song to win, I don't think we predicted it to go like that, to be from pillar to post like that. But super great performance from Song, and I'm a big supporter of him, so glad to see him get a win like that.
All right, moving on down. Come-in event, Dorian. I say this every time. Caio Bahayo, Mikhail Olszejczuk, I feel like he needs to go down another weight class. He had no business fighting up at 205, even though he got some knockouts up at 205. He's
crazy.
Like Andrade. He's like Andrade at 135. No business being there, but you're good enough to fight, dude. If he could drop down to 170, I think he might literally be a really good fighter there. He just looks so small in there against Caio, dude. He gets the round 2 sub, but Mikhail's weakness against giant dudes has been on the ground. He keeps getting subbed when he does lose. Thoughts on that real quick?
Yeah, I messaged you before the fight happened, and I told you that I thought it was going to be a competitive fight, and I thought Olszejczuk was going to have a chance, and I think he kind of proved it there in the 1st round still, I think, with some of the shots that he was landing, because that was the only thing that, if I had to take anything away from Caio Bahayo's performance, was that he did have a good performance. I thought his striking was well, but yeah, he definitely was getting tuned up a little bit there early in the 1st round, and part of it is just because Olszejczuk, his striking is so unorthodox and so awkward. His punches has come from such weird angles, but I thought once Caio was kind of able to establish the range, he had that little check right hook that he was throwing every time that Olszejczuk would step in, and he kept catching him with it pretty clean. And once he got it down on the ground in the 2nd round, what I like to see from Caio as well is that he had that finishing instinct. His first couple of fights in the UFC, been kind of dragging his feet a little bit. He's been dominating for the most part, but didn't really put his foot on the gas. But I'd like that, he's seen the opportunity to get the finish, took full advantage of it, and talks well on the mic. He's definitely got a lot of potential at 185, and I think if they match him up right, he could definitely be within the top 10 in no time. And I like the call out that he had too with Derek Brunson. So, kind of like a slow climb up for him. Yeah, but a good name.
I don't think that Brunson's retired. It didn't seem right. He was like, "Thanks for watching my career, y'all." I'm like, did he retire after that? I don't know, dude.
Right.
So feature fight of the night, and I'll pop this up on the screen because Lush Lomain supporting your boy over here. Let Lush Lomain how I brought that thing home this week in the Rodolfo Vieira versus Cody Brundage fight.
Boo. Man, that fight was so awful, dude. Brundage kind of showed why I had some confidence in him going into the fight, but man, just frustrating that he just tuning up Rodolfo in the 1st round, drops him, and then he gets on top of him, and he does land some pretty good ground and pound, but he gets taken down with about 40 seconds left, so he's defending pretty good. 2nd round starts, Vieira pushing him back against the fence, and Cody Brundage, for some reason, against a world champion Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, You decide to jump guillotine against Adolfo Vieira and think you're going to submit him. You freaking idiots. You end up giving up your back, end up rolling back into the head and arm triangle. This dude was in the head arm triangle, got out of it, and then as DC is screaming, no, don't roll back into it, rolls back into the submission and puts himself up to get submitted. Dude, it was absolutely nuts. I was like, dude, you know what? At this point, when he went for the guillotine, I was like, that's fight over. He's lost, because as soon as he gasses out right here, Adolfo Vieira is about to submit him, and he absolutely did. Dude, it was so crazy.
I couldn't have said it better myself, dude. Me and you were chatting like right after it happened. That's pretty much what my message said was those exact words, dude. Like best IQ and like in the UFC, new best fight IQ right there. But anyway, we got Vandermeer. Keep up the good work, fellas. Well, I appreciate the kind words, brother. Thanks for stopping by. If you're still in here, so thank you. Much love from Australia. Oh, so that's even cooler, dude. So we got we got supporters all over the world. So
hell yeah.
Can't be mad at that. I think I get the belt from the Durden pick. Did he pick Durden last week? Lushlow Main may have picked Durden last week in the chat. Who knows? To be honest, I don't remember. There's a lot of messages in here, but I believe you, brother. I believe you if you did. But man, that one really shook me up. So just other points from that card. Fernando Padilla, dude, let the people know how accurate this dude's paws were. Me and you were chuckling earlier playing PlayStation, talking about this fight, dude. But Fernando Padilla knocks out Julian Erosa 1:41 into round one.
Yeah, I mean, the dude was he was landing like he was the American sniper. I mean, and just shot after shot. I mean, as soon as he landed that 1-2, Erosa immediately gets rocked, and Erosa is running backwards, and he is still going 1-2, 1-2, and is lit like almost like a Rock'em Sock'em Robot, like punching, like he's not like punching super hard, but it's just landing, bang, 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 and just kept landing over and over, dude.
He threw like 8 to 10 punches, and they all landed. None of them missed. Dude.
Yes, like Julian Erosa's hair did like the puff thing. Like every time like his face got hit, like it was just like poof, poof, poof. Like his hair just kept puffing up in the air. And people asked if it was a good stoppage or not. I thought it was a good stoppage. I thought that, he was getting tuned up, got dropped the first time. Honestly, he was out for a second, and he got punched back like awake. And then he ends up getting up, and he got dropped again. And Padilla was not missing. Like, okay, yeah, you was getting up and running backwards. Oh, yeah. So you could get tuned up some more? Like, no, not at all. Didn't need to keep going. I've seen enough, and Padilla deserved that win, man. So just super accurate puncher. And I'm surprised, a Mexican fighter like himself, I'm surprised you weren't I know you're a fan of the Mexican fighters, that you weren't a big supporter.
I just didn't know anything about him, but I know about him now, and he will have my support from this point on, dude. We got Dorian's number one.
Kyle.
Good evening, gentlemen.
My man.
How you doing, Kyle? Glad you stopped by today, brother. But look what's back home this week where it belongs, brother.
Kyle, Cody Brundage shit the bed, man. Can't blame me, man. He dropped him. Gone.
Oh goodness. Dude, Trey Waters, just massive, dude. Josh Quinlan couldn't touch him. Anything else besides that? I skipped over the fucking 6-name fight because that was boring as shit.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, and the card wasn't super crazy either from that point kind of down. Quinlan, I think he kind of took the fight to do the company a favor and maybe get paid, but yeah, Trey Waters was just massive, dude.
That's right, Kyle. And new, brother, and new. Brundage,
you damn right he did. You damn right he did. And that's the last time I'll ever pick Cody Brundage for anything, dude. And dude, he was like a live dog. Like I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good pick, man. But that's one that will scar me.
There are two other ones that you want to make points about. I did see a note about it in the chat earlier, but we'll get to that in just a second. Arena Elaskeva, Russian Ronda, dude, gets the round one knee bar, dude. And after seeing that fight, I cannot wait until she fights again so I can fade her again, dude. She was gassing so hard, like 2 minutes into that fight. Like she looked at the clock and was like, and she was like just going, dude. I cannot wait to fade her. I think she's ass, dude. I don't think she's good. Did you watch that fight at all? Can you give any opinion on that?
Yeah, no, I did not watch that all like in detail. I more or less seen the finish and seen where they said that she had envisioned her finish because she was kind of doing a walkthrough in the octagon and like of her celebrating what her victory would be. And her before the fight, she was running and jumping on top of the cage, and they showed her do it post fight too. And I was like, oh yeah, and also missing weight by freaking 5 pounds and going in and taking the fight, and you're celebrating like that. Like, yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, and the last note on this card, real quick, I think Lush Lomain may have mentioned earlier in the chat, but Marcus McGee on 3 days' notice drops Journey Newson and then ends up choking him out, dude. Like, did you end up seeing that one at all?
Oh, I did see the highlights on that one, and Journey Newsom. I think you were even mentioning last week that you just didn't know how to call his fights because he's just been kind of confusing to call. And I think we were both even. I think I had said Journey Newsom, but it was just because I literally knew nothing about Marcus McGee, and but I think that kind of just proved to your point that we just don't really know how to call Journey Newsom fight. I mean, he's just so inconsistent, but at the same time, I mean, Marcus McGee came out he came out on fire, like ready to go, and
good.
He came out immediately, establishing leg kicks, hands was looking nice, and like you said, dropping him, getting the sub. That was a good win to take on 3 days' notice.
Indeed, man. So with that being said, that is all the fights from this past weekend. So why don't we jump into some fight news and fight announcements? So obviously the main one that everyone wants to talk about, dude, Juliana Pena is out with a rib injury, and Amanda Nunes will now fight Irene Aldana at UFC 289 June 10th in Canada for the bantamweight title, UFC 135 women's title, dude. Irene Aldana, Amanda Nunes. I've been calling for this for months now, dude. I'm happy for it. Give me your thoughts on the fight being made.
It's more or less the fight that we had kind of wanted all along, and we, even when the Pena and Nunes fight was announced, we on this very podcast said that we were not interested in that fight whatsoever. We're just fans at the end of the day, but it's not like we're executives over the UFC matchmaking or anything, but we had just talked about how we thought that the Irene Aldana matchup just made much more sense because it was a fresh matchup. We just seen Pena get beat from pillar to post in that last fight. I mean, Amanda Nunes literally drug that fight out to make it a unanimous decision to prove that she was the better fighter than Juliana Pena. And I think she did with that second fight. I don't think we need to see a third fight. And with Juliana Pena, unfortunately, getting the injury, we ended up getting at the end of the day what the fans really wanted. And that's Irene Aldana in there getting her chance.
Man, it looks like we both agree with Kyle for the most part. Yeah, dude. Do you think she has a chance, or is Amanda just gonna pretty much wrestle fuck her for all 5 rounds?
I mean, everybody's gonna have a chance. I mean, especially when you're as much of a sharpshooter as Irene Aldana is. She's definitely dangerous. And one thing I'm curious to see is, when we did the predictions podcast, one of my predictions was, going into this year, I thought that Amanda Nunes was going to retire. And I've said it time and time again that I think her time is coming up because I think she's done with the sport. She's clearly established she's the best women's fighter of all time. She's lapped her division a couple of different times now. I don't think there's really too much for her to prove. So if she comes in there with maybe 1 foot out the door against Irene Aldana, there very well could be a chance that Irene Aldana could catch her. So that's what makes the fight interesting, in my opinion.
Personally, on the feet, I think this looks a lot like Valentina versus Grasso, like where Grasso was kind of boxing Valentina up, and you can go back and dude, she was landing probably like winning rounds on the feet. like so Valentina had to start fucking wrestling, dude. I believe this kind of like looks like that, dude. But I don't know if Aldana can. I don't know if her jiu-jitsu is as good as Grasso's is.
The only thing Randy Aldana is susceptible to getting taken down too. So Holly Holm was able to take her down pretty successfully. Rocky did in their fight. So yeah, it's she's susceptible to getting taken down a lot. So let's see if she's kind of sharpened up her takedown defense, which I'm sure she's going to be working on as well.
But remember, dude, she trains that liver up kick. Don't forget it.
Yeah, very nasty. Was it? What? No, it wasn't Yana.
It was against Macy Chessel.
Yeah, Macy. That's who it was. Yeah, exactly. That was pretty nasty too.
Yeah. So that being said, dude, I think we got a lot of fights came out since last week, right? Has it been a lot?
You know what? It very well could have been. I've seen some of the news, but unless you got more than me, I thought it was just like a normal week.
We said that last week. Maybe I'm going down a little bit too far.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was just more or less like a normal week. But while you're I know you're still looking for some. What did you think about Mike Perry and Luke Rockhold over the weekend?
Dude, that is perfect. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was going to say more or less. Unless if you want me to go first, I can go first. But dude, what did you think?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the whole fights of the two. I went back to watch like the Mike Perry versus the Luke Rockhold because I just want to see what happened. Like did he continuously get bashed in the face, or did he just get get hit one time? It's nah, I'm done, and he just got hit one good time. It was nah, I'm done. So Luke Rockhold, and then after on Instagram was I'm not done. I'm coming back. It's bro, you are so delusional, dude. How can you be serious, dude? You just keep getting mollywopped, man. And it's dude, and bare knuckle FC is the exact sport for Mike Perry without a doubt. And then I saw the highlights of the Chad Mendez, Eddie Alvarez when I heard that Connor was throw the uppercut, and then he threw it, and then Eddie Alvarez was I heard that, and pointed at him. Yeah, they both knocked each other down twice. That shit was crazy. Unfortunately, the BKFC that I went to here locally was nowhere near as entertaining as even the clips of those two fights that I watched. So, unfortunately, that has not won me over. I will not be starting to watch BKFC from now on. But maybe if I get some cool fights like that, I might try to tune in because I was out. There was no chance I was watching BKFC, but I saw the highlights of that, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give some of it a chance. How about you, man?
Yeah. So I ended up actually watching the Mike Perry fight and the Luke Rockhold fight live. I didn't get to watch the Eddie and Chad fight live. I went back and watched it afterwards, but no, so the Luke and Mike fight. So I actually thought Luke, I'm not going to lie, because I give Luke kind of a hard time too, but Luke was kind of tuning Mike Perry up there at first. He slipped off one of Mike Perry's jabs and threw a straight left. Yeah. Dude, and even Mike Perry said at the end of the first round, he said he's hitting me with that left every time. He even said dude, there's nothing I could do. And his coaches were basically you have to try to either slip around it or you might have to eat it to give one. But, Luke was landing. He ended up knocking Mike Perry back at first, but I think he kind of underestimated just not using gloves at all and just going out there completely bare knuckle. And, Mike Perry, he's just super resilient. As you said, perfect for that sport. He's just an absolute dog. Doesn't care what his face looks like.
Dogs got some Mike Perry in them sometimes, dude.
Hey, yeah, yeah, dude, 100%. Dude, Mike Perry.
I need to see an X-ray of a dog and have a Mike Perry inside of it.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was about to say. If you go inside Mike Perry and you do an X-ray on his heart, you absolutely see just nothing but a dog in there. Once you do X-ray on his body, dude, he is just the embodiment of what a dog is in the sport of combat. And I mean, he is perfect for the sport. And yeah, I thought it was an awesome fight. Dude, Luke's I told you immediately because I was watching it when it happened. I was like, oh, dude, Luke just quit. Kind of looking at his face afterwards. Oh, man.
Dude, I swear, like he only got hit that one time. He was
Hey,
like, "Oh, I'm
yeah.
done."
Yeah, it was the right hand. And Luke, he kept trying to clinch. And Dan Mergliotta told him basically, you can't clinch. And Luke said, this mouthpiece ain't protecting me. And when he showed him his teeth, that's when he went like that. And Luke's lip was split real bad. So, I mean, he was banged up pretty good. So I could definitely understand why after the fact, I kind of clowned him at first for quitting. But after the fact, seeing his face, I mean, he was pretty damn banged up, to say the least. So that was crazy. And, dude, that Eddie and Chad fight, just an absolute war. That's what I think they needed, like, for BKFC, was just to have a big event like that, just gain a lot of traction, because that was a really good fight, absolute barn burner. Chad Mendez might have won the fight, but worse, potentially could have been a draw. But I like the fight overall, and it just BKFC is just gruesome. It's just hard to watch, man. I'm not gonna lie with the bare knuckle.
Kyle wanted to know, what in the world was Connor stepping in the BKFC ring with a belt over his shoulders? There's certainly no way they could afford Connor. Great promotion, though. No, I think Connor fought both those dudes. The sport's kind of wild. Mike Perry versus fucking Luke Rockhold. That's pretty much the biggest fight that they've ever had. So I think, dude, there were a lot of people there, and Connor had about a whole bottle of Proper 12 Apple, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it for free. Let me throw this shit." I'm sure it was the dude's name. Fucking David Feldman loved that. He was eating that shit up. He was like, "Oh, I'm getting all this shit for free. Keep bringing." All it cost them was a bottle of Proper 12, dude. That's all it cost them, and Connor was fucking in, dude. And Lush Lemaine, love Luke, but man, when's he gonna learn it's time to hang up the glove? He wasn't even wearing any gloves. He just needs to. If he has a modeling career, what is he doing? Or is like that just like bullshit? Like he like modeled a few times and then he's no longer a model, because I don't understand why you'd be doing this bare knuckle if you have that career, dude. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually, because it'll kind of lead into the main event this weekend too. But I heard Cejudo say in an interview, I heard him earlier. He said that, the reason why he came back, it's not necessarily that he needed the money. He went away. He's made plenty of money and everything, but he said that fighting is the easiest way for him to make the most money. And maybe that could be the case for Luke as well, is that, I think he is a competitor at the end of the day, but I think that everybody says that BKFC pretty much sells out when they're paying their athletes. So if they sold out to give him a check, hey, I mean, can you blame Luke for wanting to go in there? If he got paid a couple mil to go in there and fight, I mean, shit, I couldn't blame him at all.
Yeah, I guess not. And dude, I just now realized that I'm on Wi-Fi and pretty much no lag this whole time. I don't like my cord's actually plugged up to my PlayStation still, and I haven't had any connection issues yet. So hell yeah, dude. I'm just
Let's go.
I know. All right, so let's run through these fight announcements real quick, dude. Jamal Pogues making his UFC return against Mick Parkin. Care about that?
It should be a decent fight, but Jamal Pogues, yeah.
Okay. Yasmin Haregi going to be taking on Denise Gomes. Dude, that's a good one. Yeah, that's like,
oh yeah,
the Jessica Andrade, dude. That's like two young prospects. What are they doing, dude?
That's what I was about to say. They,
June 24th.
Yeah, they keep matching up Uruguay against like up and comers, but I guess in the women's division, you kind of have a hard time matching them up against the top ones too.
Yeah, dude. Cody Garbrandt about to get knocked out. Cody Garbrandt versus Mario Bautista, August 19th. Thoughts on that?
You think Batista would knock him out? I don't know. Yeah. Batista's that good with his hands, is he?
Dude, he's powerful, dude. He's growing into his body for sure, though.
Yeah, he definitely is. I don't know. I just kind of, I guess I could see Cody being a little bit more competitive than you do.
Yeah. Maxim Grisham taking on Felipe Lins, June 3rd. Care about that?
No.
Okay, Nicholas Mota taking on Manuel Torres, June 17th. Care about that?
Mano Torres sounds familiar, but yeah, I'm not super familiar.
Not sure who those next two are. Norma Dumont going to be taking on Chelsea Chandler. If you don't know, Norma Dumont holds a CDL license. That's going to be July 15th.
Wasn't she just talking shit saying that she was going to hold out for a title shot, Norma Dumont, and now she's talking about taking some fight against some random whoever the fuck this is? Like that, I don't know. Just seeing what from title fight to that is a very, very drastic drop.
Lush Main agreeing with me. Rip Cody, indeed. What's going on, Tank Niner? Glad you were able
What's
to
up, Tank Niner?
Here. Cody signed that contract and got sleepy. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Jafel Felo going to be taking on Juan Camillo Ronderos. You don't care about that one. I'm not going to pretend.
Nope.
Alan Nascimento going to be taking on Tim Elliott. Wait, hold on. No. Alan Nascimento out. Tim Elliott will now fight Victor Altamirano. That's this guy. El Magnifico.
Yeah, like a damn 70s cartoon. Like at the end of the show, like you fucking dork.
El Magnifico. He's got great teeth. Don't forget that. Davey Grant going to be taking on Daniel Marcos in London. Care about that one?
Dangerous Davey. I'm always a Davey Grant fan, I'm always down to watch a Davey Grant fight. So I'm down to watch him fight anybody.
Hell yeah. And pretty much the next few are going to be probably on that London card. Jai Herbert taking on Faraz Ziam. Care about that? Dude, why is Faraz Ziam? I feel like he's already been cut like twice now, and here he comes again,
To get guys like Jai Herbert to win because for some reason it seems like the UFC likes Jai Herbert and wants to keep him around, and they always put him on these London cards, and he does well with the fans, so they want to try to get him as much rub as they can, put him up against Faraz Ziam to get him a win.
All right, here we got two Brazilian brothers fighting here. We got Vicente Luque taking on RDA July 15th. Give me your thoughts on that.
Man, that actually made me kind of sad because I'm actually a fan of both the guys, and a lot of times the Brazilians, they're not as keen on fighting one another when they're. I don't know if they've ever trained one another or anything, but I know that they're a little bit more resistant on fighting one another, and I'm a Luque fan. I thought that RDA was going to kind of match himself up with older names, maybe a Tony Ferguson fight or something like that, but. I don't know if I want to see him fight Luque because, man, if Luque unleashes, it could be a long night for RDA.
Indeed, man, indeed. What's going on, A. Jackson? Glad you're able to make it today, my guy.
Hey, what up?
Let's see who else we got. Here we got Max Payne Griffin going to be taking on the return of Michael Morales, dude. We hadn't seen Michael Morales in a while. That's going to be July 1st. Care about that?
No, that actually is a pretty good fight. I would say Max Griffin. A guy he's been kind of showing a little bit more of his best here as of late. I think he lost his last fight, but other than that, he had been putting a couple good performances together, and Michael Morales is a guy that we've been wanting to see climb up the welterweight division for a little bit now, and that's a good climb up and a good test for him to really see where Michael Morales is at.
Let's see, Walker and Gary looking like a nice parlay for next week. Brother, I definitely do not bet weeks into the future. I'm lucky enough if I get my shit in by Friday on time because there's a few times when I'm like, damn, I wanted to make this bet. But this week,
I meant to.
Yeah, I've been early on it this week, brother. Let's see what else we got here. We got I don't know who that is. Dude, here's an interesting one. We got Mark DeCasey taking on Joel Alvarez in London, dude. Give me your thoughts on that.
Now, let's see if Joel Alvarez can make weight.
D1 Mark DeCasey, don't forget.
Yeah, seriously. I would say Mark the Eagle DeCasey. Out here wrestling everybody to death now. But no, that'll be an interesting fight because Joel Alvarez, let's see if he can actually make weight. But if he can, that's a big dude, and that's going to be hard for Mark DeCasey to wrestle him the whole time. So that'd be interesting to watch.
Dude, we got the return of All Out. Brendan Allen going to be taking on yours truly, Dorian Rose. Brendan Allen going to be taking on Bruno Silva, UFC Jacksonville, June 24th. Dude, Bruno Silva's active, dude.
Dude, and Brendan Allen ended up going from fighting Jack Hermanson to fighting Bruno Silva. Oh man, that's rough because he's fighting someone who's ranked
Got power, too.
ranked lower in the division, and a worse matchup because Brendan Allen, if there's one thing that we have always criticized him for, dude gets hit way too much. And I thought that maybe because he won me a little bit of money in that fight too. I had Brendan Allen in a lot of different bets, and I had him straight up against Andre Muniz too. I just seen that coming from a mile away, but thought they were going to really give him kind of a climb up in the division. It sucks to see that he takes a step back, but as you said, Bruno's active, and I'm a big fan of Bruno too, so should be a fun fight.
Dan Argueta taking on Ronnie Lawrence June 17th. Care about that?
No.
All right, David Onama, Gabriel Santos, June 24th.
Oh man, trying to serve Gabriel Santos. I think they're trying to serve him up here. You know, Nama's a heavy hitter, so should be a good one while it lasts.
Dude, and big news over this past week: Bryce Mitchell is out with a back injury. Movsar Evloev will now fight Diego Lopez this weekend, dude. This weekend, dude. So we'll get into that, but just real quick, thoughts on Bryce Mitchell falling out of that fight?
Well, this is the second time for this fight, or I think the third fight third time this fight has fallen through, because I think the first time it had fallen through, they initially pushed it back. And then I think the second time, that was when Bryce ended up taking the fight with Tuporia, because he was just like, I'm tired of waiting. I need to get a fight in. Let's go ahead and get it done. And now this time, Bryce Mitchell ends up pulling out. Maybe for Bryce, it ended up being for the better, because, if he ends up going in from Tuporia to Movsar is going to be a tough matchup as well. If he loses that fight, 2 losses in a row in the featherweight division, while the featherweight division is pretty hot right now, it's not a place you want to be. So, maybe it might be for the best that he didn't take this fight, Bryce.
Yeah. Just real quick, Colton Lewis just got my giveaway card in the mail today. Thanks, my guy. Glad you got it, brother.
Yeah.
What's going on, Daniel? Glad you were able to make it in here today, my guy. So, real quick, I'm just going to run through these. Neil Magny, Phil Rowe. Care about that?
No.
All right. Gregory Rodriguez returning against Dennis Tululin, Jacksonville, June 24th.
Be curious to see if RoboCop will be a little more reckless, or if he's going to be a little bit more measured in his next few.
All right. Justin Tafa versus Austin Lane, June 24th.
Crazy to see Austin Lane back in the UFC, but man, he might get slept again.
All right, and that's the last one that I see. So with that being said, that's all the news that I have. You got any news that I didn't talk about from this past weekend, brother?
No. I think you pretty much covered it, man.
All right. Let's get into it, brother. It's time. UFC 288, Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo. Our preview, our picks. And before we get into it, I have to show y'all my shirt. I got it in the mail today, and I'm pretty proud of it. It looks sick. Let me get back a little bit. Can you see it, Dorian?
Hell yeah.
It looks sick, right? I got it off the Full Violence site. Headshot, dead. It was pretty sick.
Leon Edwards with the bang bang against Usman, when Usman kind of did the little square off, little finger point thing.
Dude, he got right in his face, and Leon
doing the gun.
Leon was ready for it. So let's remain a fan of it. Yeah, dude. I did not know, dude, that their site, you have to like all their shit. It's only available for like a few weeks, and then you can't get it anymore. So it's like, if you don't get it while it's there, it's gone. So I got the Izzy one too. So like whenever I get that one out, I'll be sure to wear that one too. Yeah, Colton Lewis, a fan of the Leon shirt. That's probably the coolest moment in UFC, dude. The Izzy, dude. I have the Izzy moment.
The Izzy, yeah,
dude. It's coming too. It's coming too. I will definitely wear that one when it comes in. But yeah, dude. Preview in our picks for this weekend, Dorian. While I get the screen share pulled up here, let the people know real quick. Just looking at the card overall, what are your thoughts and opinions? Give it a grade real quick while I get this pulled up.
So, I mean, if you're looking at the card as a whole, as the main card, having fights fall out, that is pretty unfortunate, and you can't blame the UFC necessarily for fights falling out. But I guess if you put it in comparison to the last couple pay-per-views, I don't think it lives up to the hype of maybe like 287 or 285. But I do think this has a little bit of potential to deliver, and I'm definitely excited for the main event. So, if I had to maybe give it a grade, I'd say maybe a B. I'd say maybe a B. I don't want to be too harsh on it because I am excited for some of the matchups, especially this top two. And hey, Andrade and Yan Xiaonan, that should be a pretty good fight too. And I'm a fan of Charles Jourdain anytime he fights. So, seeing him back, I'll be excited for that too. So I think overall this card, it deserves a B. It's not terrible.
It's not one that I'm going to be like, damn, I have to pay for that. Like, it's got enough fights on it where me, like, I don't want to I guess I'm a hardcore fan. I watch every single UFC fight. So I guess I'm a hardcore fan, dude. I don't mind paying for this one. So just real quick, Dorian, you'll have to let me know if anyone hops in the chat real quick, because once I'm on the other screen, I can't see the chat anymore. Real quick, did I miss fight news? Daniel, you did miss fight news, but it was just right. It was just right before this. You can rewind. You're not gonna miss anything too much, brother. Can't complain. Right. As for Burns, Bilal, number one contender, and got it. So did Doran. That is exactly. Any excited for Demetrius Johnson on Friday? Does DJ fight Friday, Doran?
Yeah, he does. He fights this Friday. It's the trilogy of his match with Adriana Moraes. So that should be a really awesome fight as well. The second fight, I told you I had actually stayed up and watched it because I'm a Demetrius Johnson fan, and that fight delivered on the KO. And the first two fights have actually been, if you've actually watched the first two fights, they've delivered. So that third fight, it should deliver as well, and definitely rooting for Mighty Mouse.
All right, dude. I forgot I had this damn mouse here. I don't ever use it. So I am on the other screen now. So if anything else pops up in the chat, brother, you'll have to let me know, because once again, I can't see it. So this weekend we've got UFC 288, Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo. This is going to be Saturday, dude. I told you it was early, 6 p.m. Is this the prelims or the main card? Because
if it's the prelims, I mean, that's normal. But
UFC 288 early prelims. Come on, you shitter load.
Yeah, because I mean the early prelims starting at that time. Now that's about a normal time. But if the main cards,
that would make sense.
I mean, according to Google, it says Saturday, May 6th. The main card starts at 10 p.m. I mean, that's the normal. Prelims start at 8. Early prelims start at 6, according to Google right now. So
yeah. So early prelims start at 6. Yeah. So I thought it was.
So I mean that makes sense.
All right. So this weekend, Saturday, May 6th at 6 p.m., this fight will be taking place in Newark, New Jersey. Pretty much New York City, the backyard of Aljamain Sterling. We've got 14 fights here at the Prudential Center. Dude, the poster is ass for this, yeah.
It is Cejudo, as the Aljamain Sterling would say.
Yeah, it's not good. Main event of the night, going to be Henry Cejudo taking on Aljamain Sterling. Why does it have him as having a belt there? Anyway, this is going to be for the Bantamweight Championship of the World, Triple C versus the Funk Master. We got Bilal, remember the name, taking on Gilbert Dorino Burns. We got Jessica Bacha Estaca Andrade, or the Pile Driver, taking on Wu Yan Jiaonan. I believe that is Wu Yan Jiaonan. I could be wrong. Yan Jiaonan. Movsar Evloev going to be taking on Diego Lopez. Crone Gracie making his return after 3 or 4 years. A tough return against
2019.
Charles Ayer Jourdain. We got the Iron Chin of Drew Dober taking on the Steamroller in Matt Frivola. We got Devin Brown Bear Clark taking on the African Savage Kennedy and Zechiku. We got Chaos Williams taking on Ronaldo Bandoya, Don't know anything about him. We got Marina Rodriguez taking on Verna Jandiroba, and she has an eye for the fight game if there was one. We got Parker Porter taking on Braxton Smith in our slop fest of the week. We got Ikram Alaskarov going to be taking on Phil Halls. No hype, Phil Halls. We got Zalgas Zumagulov going to be taking on Rafael Estevam. We got Ugly Man Joseph Holmes going to be taking on Claudio Hiberio. And Dorian, he's the guy that has like, hey, as a coach, and he just doesn't stop doing it. That's that guy.
Every time his fighter like breathes. Golly, that's just annoying.
And then the first fight of the night, the curtain jerker of the night, we got Daniel Santos going to be the Willie Cat Daniel Santos going to be taking on Johnny Munoz Jr. So that is where we will begin. If you have enjoyed the show up to now, please do us a favor and hit that thumbs up button if you haven't. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Did I miss anything? Okay, it looks like we're good. We are good. So that being said, dude, first fight of the night, we got Willie Cat Daniel Santos taking on, is that Kid Kavinbo, Johnny Munoz Jr. So Willie Cat 10-2. Johnny Munoz Jr. is 12-2. Willie Cat won 3 of his last 5. So has Johnny Munoz Jr. Willie Cat's last win came against John Castaneda, lost against Julio Arce, and then was out of the UFC before that. Johnny Munoz Jr. won against Ludovic Shalinian, which I guess it's an okay win. Ludovic isn't that good. And then he's the one that got wrapped around, knocked out by Tony Gravely. I know you enjoyed that knockout. Won against Jamie Simmons, lost against Nate Maness, and won against Ian King. Dude, I think Johnny Munoz just pretty much is the bottom level of the UFC possible. Only beat dudes that are no longer in the UFC and never won a fight in the UFC. I believe his wins against everyone against that wasn't in the UFC was like 0-4. So everyone that he beat was 0-4 in the UFC combined. So not too good. Willie Cat minus 165 favorite. Johnny Munoz plus 140 favorite. Willie Cat is 28 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. Johnny Munoz Jr., 30 years old, 5'9" with a 61-inch reach. So he will have a 2-inch height advantage and about close to a 4-inch reach advantage, dude. That being said, dude, I'm going to go with the favorite here. I'm going to go with the Willie Cat. I don't think Johnny Munoz belongs in the UFC. He loses every time he fights someone that is UFC level. Which way are you going this week, man?
Yeah, I'm not as highly invested in this one, but I guess I would have to say based on their body of work so far in the UFC, definitely would have to say Daniel Santos here is the favorite and deserves to be. So definitely think he should be able to get it done.
All right, so first fight this week, me and Dorian picking the same one. If you guys don't know, we're going to try to have 5 different ones to put this pick champ up on the line this week, but it ain't going to.
Hey, what's up, Austin?
It ain't going to be on this fight. Let me go back in here, pop it up on the screen. What's going on, Austin? Glad you were able to make it in here today, brother. We just now started talking about the first fight of the night. So
love that profile picture, man. Makes me laugh every time.
You may be late to the party, but you're not really late to the fight picks, which is what most of the people come here for. So with that being said, second fight of the night, and I have strong opinions on this one, man. We got Ugly Man Joseph Holmes taking on Claudio Hibeiro. Ugly Man Joe Holmes 8-3. Claudio Hibeiro 10-3. Last loss to Abdul Razak Al Hassan, right? Yeah, knockout, and then won on the Contender Series. Ugly Man Joe Holmes lost a submission to Jung Young Park. Won against the can that is Alan Amadovsky. And this is right here. This next one that I'm going to show you is going to reveal my pick for up next. He lost the decision to Jamie Pickett. So with that being said, Ugly Man Joe Holmes, a plus 175 dog, as he should be. Claudio Hibeiro is a minus 210 favorite. Joseph Holmes, 27 years old, 6'4" with an 80-inch reach. Claudio Ribeiro, 30 years old, 6'1" with a 77-inch reach. Dude, I got 8 by first round knockout, dude. Who you going this week? I got Claudio Ribeiro.
I know Ugly Man Joe's one of your guys to watch too. I know he's one of your favorite up and comers. But Claudio Ribeiro, I know he had that. It was a bad loss to Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan had kind of wrestled him at first and kind of slowed him down, then got him in the clinch, and that's when he really started banging Claudio out of there. But he's definitely the more explosive of the two. And Ugly Man Joe, he's just sloppy, man. Just sloppy. And I think as long as Ribeiro just doesn't get too wild, she'll be able to get him out of there pretty easy. So let's go Ribeiro here.
Yeah, and just real quick, we got Joey working here. Let's see. Golden Octagon. What's up? It's Joey from High Stakes Break, brother. For those of you who don't know, I sometimes I go on Whatnot and spend some money that I don't need to spend. And I broke the other night with Joey working. It was so nice to send me this hat right here. So shout out, Joey. Appreciate the hat, brother. Go ahead. Snap that bad boy on for the rest of the show. Why not? Glad you're able to stop by, make it in here today, brother. I appreciate you stopping by. I truly do, brother. So shout out you, man. So greatly appreciate it. And then we got Tuned Element in here. It's all true about Usman fighting Kamzat next. I hope so. That would be interesting. I'm interested in that fight if it does happen. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. So moving on, dude. Well, I guess I should let you know, or I should let you pick who you got in this fight, dude.
Yeah, I did pick Ribeiro.
Oh, okay, you got Ribeiro. I was hoping you'd pick Ugly Man Joe Holmes, dude. So you're telling me his loss does not make you want to pick him, dude?
No, I knew Ugly Man Joe's one of your favorites to root for, so definitely didn't want to step on your toes and pick your guy.
Next fight of the night, we got Zhalgas Zhumagulov. Dude, he keeps getting fucked by these split decisions. Going to be taking on Rafael Estevam, dude. Estevam. We got Zako taking on Macapa. I believe that's what it is. Anyway, Zhalgas Zhumagulov. What the fuck is going on? Zhalgas Zhumagulov, 1-4 in his last 5. Estevam has won 5 of his last 5, and he is undefeated 11-0. Zhalgas Zhumagulov plus 125 dog. Estevam is a minus 150 favorite. Zhalgas Zhumagulov, 34 years old, 5'4" with a 66-inch reach. Estevam is 26 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach, dude. And dude, I feel like, you know what? I'm gonna let you pick here. I've been going first. I'm gonna let you pick. I have my pick already. I don't want to sway your decision though.
If I had because I was kind of looking at both the last few fights, and the only thing that makes me kind of worry, how I am as far as experience, man, and Zhumagulov does have more experience on his side, but tends to have a lot of shitty luck going his way as well. Estevam does have a couple of decisions on his record as well, so if I had to pick, man, I'm probably gonna roll with Estevam here.
All right. See, I'm glad you went that way because I feel like if I would have put it like this, then you would have maybe went the other way, dude. I feel like Estevam hasn't. He won on the Contender Series and then won an LFA. Was somewhere else before that. Where was he fighting for Mortal Kombat? That's what it looks like, dude. That's like the Mortal Kombat logo. Dude, you haven't seen him beat anyone UFC level yet, dude. And dude, Zhalgas Zhumagulov, he's coming to these razor close split decisions with Charles Johnson, with Jeff Molina. Lost to Manel Cap. I think it was like a knee to ground and pound, some shit like that. Beat Jerome Rivera and lost a decision to Amir Albazi, dude. So he's for sure going to tough fights, split decision with these good guys, dude, that are for sure UFC level. I'm not sure Estevam is UFC level. And that being said, this week I'm riding with the dog in Zhalgas Zhumagulov. I think he gets it done probably by decision this week in our first different pick of the night. Happy with it, Dorian, or you feel like changing your pick?
Let's rock with it. Screw it. I wasn't gonna feel comfortable either way. So,
all right, dude. Hey, but I could be dead ass wrong. You know. Up next, we got Ikram Aliskerov taking on No Hype Phil Hawes. Ikram's only loss in 14 fights. He is 13-1. His only loss is that devastating uppercut from Khamzat Chimaev, dude. And dude, I think it was in Brave at this time. Dude, Ikram was like their big guy. They actually brought Khamzat in as like a can for Ikram to beat, and Khamzat fucking knocked him out, dude. Anyway, he's gonna be taking on No Hype Phil Hawes. Ikram 13-1. Phil Hawes 12-4. Ikram a -210 favorite. I'm sure that's changed now. I'm sure he's got to be every bit of 350 favorite right now. Phil Hawes plus 175 dog. Ikram is 30 years old, 6 foot with a 76-inch reach. Phil Hawes 34 years old, 6 foot with a 77.5-inch reach, dude. Fun fact, Dorian, did you know Phil Hawes has not been taken down in the UFC yet?
That's not surprising. I mean, a lot of the fighters that he's fought have been, I don't want to say bangers, but strikers for the most part.
Dude, if I could explain Phil Hawes like this, dude, he's like, you're on a creative fighter game and you boost all of his stats. Like you boost his strength, you boost his wrestling, you boost his like athleticism, you boost his power and his boxing, and you get all the way down to the bottom where it's health left and you don't have that many points left, dude. He's a great fighter with no chin, dude. He gets cracked. He's on wobbly legs and he's fucking done for, dude. He has good striking. He has good wrestling. He's athletic. He has a gas tank. The second he gets fucking touched, dude, it's game over. He just has no chin, dude. That being said, I got to go with the favorite here this week, but I believe this is Ikram's going to be his first fight in the UFC. He may have, he was on the Contender Series, but Mario Souza, that fight, dude, you lose via Kimura, you're not good, dude. Dude, I'm going to put it this way. I could see Phil Hawes upsetting a lot of people this week when Ikram tries to take Phil Hawes down and he can't get him down, and then they're boxing. And maybe Ikram's striking isn't that good. He did get snoozed by Khamzat. And Khamzat, and early Khamzat, like within his first few fights, maybe like 5-0, 6-0, something like that. So it was early on. His striking might not be that good, dude. If he can't get Phil Hawes down, Phil Hawes might upset a lot of people this week. I am officially going Ikram, but I'm not going to be parlaying this, dude. I'm not, dude. What's your pick this week, man?
Oh, I thought you said you were going Phil Hawes.
Don't bullshit me, bro.
Yeah, there's like one rule for me, and that's not to pick Phil Hawes, because literally every time he gets hit, he goes in autopilot mode. I don't really think he has that good of a gas tank. If he doesn't get the guy out of there in the first round for the most part, I mean, he does have some decision wins, but I mean, I think that was against your boy Dawkins. Yeah, I think it was against Dawkins. One of the decision wins. So it's like, is it him going to decision? Is it really against good guys? If he doesn't get the guy out of there in the first round, normally it doesn't go too well for Phil Hawes. I mean, he's super explosive. Besides the Deron Wynn fight, and that's because he fought basically a first grader at his weight class. He fought the equivalent of he fought the equivalent of what was a first grader in Deron Wynn. So yeah, you're that much bigger than him. But yeah, I'm going Aliskerov here as well, and I think it's just because. So I'm not on FanDuel as of right now. I'm on ESPN, but man, crazy enough, ESPN actually has Aliskerov as a -210 favorite. Phil Hawes is plus 175.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's actually right there on the screen. Yes, that's wild. We got Joey Work going to the card this weekend, brother. Well, I hope you have fun, man. That sounds
hell
pretty
yeah,
cool, dude.
that's dope.
My opinion, dude, on going is, bro. I don't make enough money. I'd like to be able to spend like $2,000 on 2 seats for me and my significant other. I just can't. And then flights and hotel and all that, bro. It's expensive. In your opinion, may change if you see Zalga's haircut, brother. Hey, Zalga's always got the best haircut on him. I miss Kamzat fighting 3 or 4 times a year. I do indeed. Enjoy, bro. Can't wait. Let's see. Can't wait to go to an evening. Hope it comes to Chicago. I'm sure they'll be back to Chicago. Tuned Element is jealous of Joey being able to go up there. I'll be in Chicago for boy Corey Anderson's fight in Bellator. Okay, Joey, we're going to all the fights in person, brother. That is a true fan. Personally, I got the best seats in the house on my couch, eating Five Guys, being like, "Hey man, you're shitty. What are you doing?" That's what my weekends consist of. Anyway, back to it. We are both going Alice Scaroff there. Next fight, we got Porker Porter. We got Parker Porter going to be taking on Braxton Smith. And yes, I did that on purpose, just so y'all know. The beautiful monster, Braxton Smith, going to be taking on Porker at minus 190 favorite. Porker is plus 155 dog. Porker is 38 years old, 6 foot and 75-inch reach. But dude, if you see this dude looks jacked, right, Dorian?
Yeah.
I saw a photo, dude, from his nipples down. He is like fat, dude. Fat. It's bad, dude. And I think all of his fights have ended in like a minute and a half. This is going to be bad, dude. Braxton Smith plus 155 dog. Parker Porter, 38 years old, 6 foot, 75-inch reach. Already said that. Braxton Smith, 33 years old, 5'11", and he don't have a reach. So apparently he don't have any arms. Dude, I got Parker Porter winning this fight. Do I want to bet him at a 2-1 favorite? Not really, because he get knocked out. I could see Braxton Smith coming out here and knocking him out round 1, but just being the more UFC savvy fighter, I'm going Parker Porter. Who are you going this week, man?
Yeah, man, it's just something about your boy Porker that I just cannot seem to pull the trigger on, man. And I mean the stuff that I'm looking at for Malcolm Smith, or Braxton Smith, I'm sorry. He doesn't look like he's in terrible shape.
Did I say Braxton Miller? Who is Braxton Miller?
Old football player. Did I say Braxton Miller?
I think I said it like on accident. I don't know why.
I called him Malcolm.
Like he said Smith. He said Smith.
Yeah, well, honestly, I could have said it. Well, Braxton Miller is an old Ohio State football player back in the day. Yeah, maybe him, or maybe honestly, I thought I said it at first, and then I know I said Malcolm Smith. So I'm just butchering everything at this point. But
who knows? This dude it should not be in the UFC. But let's not pretend that the heavyweight division is the deepest in the world. Sorry, Doran, go ahead.
Well, and let's not act like Parker Porter should be either. I mean, it's not like he's the greatest. Hey, he's got a decent gas tank.
He's infamous. Notorious for losing to John Jones. That's what they mention every single time. Hey, this guy fought John Jones. Well, he didn't win, so he lost to John Jones, and that's what your quote to fame is, dude.
Yeah, but long story short, yeah, I think Braxton Smith sleeps. Parker Porter, whatever his name is. Yeah, I think I'll go Braxton Smith here.
All right, in our second different pick of the week, Dorian going with the dog. Braxton Smith to defeat Parker Porter. So it's our second different one, right? We got 2 in a row that are different. Yeah. 2 in a row.
No, was it 2 in a row?
Not. We had the one in between Phil Halls and Ikram. Sorry, We had one separating us there.
Yeah,
Moving
I
on.
thought you picked Phil Halls, but you wouldn't say it with your
Dude,
chest.
you pick Phil Halls. You pick Phil Halls, dude. Up next, dude, we got Dorian's. In secrecy, Dorian tells me all the time he has a crush on this girl right here, Kakara Verna Janjiroba. She is going to be taking on Marina Rodriguez. I gotta see your face right now, Dorian. The Dorian's crush this week. Marina Rodriguez is going to be taking on Verna Janjiroba. Kakara. It sounds so close to cockeye, dude.
They knew what they was doing. They knew what they was doing when they came up with that nickname.
Marina Rodriguez, 16-2-2. Verna Janjiroba, 18-3. Dude, Marina Rodriguez, 36 years old. I did not know that. 5'6" with a 65-inch reach. Verna Janjiroba, 34 years old, 5'3" with a 64-inch reach. Dude, I see a lot of people this week heavy on the Verna side. And I think they just think that she's just this takedown like wizard that's so good on the ground. Dude, I don't think this goes there. I think Marina Rodriguez boxes her up for all 3 rounds because she can't see a straight punch coming at her. Who you got this week, man? I got Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah, she's definitely going to have all corners of the octagon covered, but just don't know if she's going to have straight ahead of her.
Can't land the hook
yeah,
on her.
Yeah, but that's why Marina Rodriguez might be screwed because her best punch is like, that right hook. And like, dude, her hooks, I mean, that could put her in bad position right now, man. So she's going to have to step off on an angle and try to throw them hooks right down the center.
Dude.
And she's going to try to land. But no, I do think that as long as Marina Rodriguez can keep it on the feet, because if she can get taken down, she is kind of prone to sitting on her back. Maybe getting a little too relaxed as far as, maybe getting comfortable on the back, trying to throw some strikes, letting the time run down. So if she does that, Janjiroba can win the fight. But if Marina keeps on the feet, she should be able to win it no problem. So I'll say Marina here.
I also think like they need to update like Verna's picture to what she actually looks like, dude. She's like a mixture of like Raul Rosas Jr. and like Rob Schneider, dude.
Rob Schneider.
Dude, that's what she looks like. She looks like Rob Schneider. Like, cut this fucking balls off. Like,
you can do it.
Yeah, that's what she looks like. We are both going Marina Rodriguez there. Up next, we got Chaos Williams taking on, dude. It looks like everyone's just touching him. Chaos Williams taking on Ronaldo Bedoya. We got the Ox Fighter taking on the Machine. Chaos Williams 13-3, won 3 of his last 5. The Machine one is 14-1, won all 5 of his last 5. Chaos Williams minus 300 favorite. The Machine is a plus 240 dog. Chaos Williams is 29 years old, 6 foot with a 77-inch reach, and apparently they don't know how old Ronaldo Bedoya is, or what he weighed last. He is 5'11" with a 75-inch reach. Dorian, that being said, being from Peru and not knowing shit about you, Tapology don't even know, dude. I got Chaos Williams by knockout. Which way you going, man?
Yeah, I mean Chaos. It looks like right here on I got it pulled up on ESPN. They have him at 26 years old with a 74-inch reach, weighing in at 170. So 26 years old with 74-inch reach, coming in on kind of short notice, I believe, taking on Chaos Williams. So Chaos Williams, we hadn't seen him for a little bit. I think the last fight was against Randy Brown, but I thought that fight. I thought he definitely won that fight. Yeah. Well, I know we both had some money on that fight, but I think we both
Maybe.
we both had some money on that fight. So that's but to be honest, the round that they ended up scoring for Randy Brown was the 3rd round, and that was a round that was pretty close, and Chaos had dropped him there. So I think Chaos has shown that he can actually go 3 rounds and not just get the knockout. So I think if that's what it takes, I think he could do that, or I think he can get the knockout. I think he wins however he wants. So Chaos gets a win here.
Fair enough. We are both going Chaos Williams. Up next, dude. I gotta let you break this one down and make your pick. I got a hard time picking this one this week. I have a lean, but let me see if you can sway me off of it. Up next, we got Devin, the Brown Bear Clark, taking on the African Savage, Kennedy and Nzechukwu. Devin Brown Bear Clark, 14-7, won 2 of his last 5. Kennedy and Nzechukwu, 11-3, won 3 of his last 5. Devin Brown Bear Clark, 33 years old, 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. The African Savage is 30 years old, 6'5" with an 83-inch reach. Dorian, I know that you tend to pick Devin Clark when I don't see why you're picking Devin Clark. Break this fight down for him, man. Who you got this week?
Man, so here's how I see this fight. Devin Clark, I recognize how good of an athlete he is, and I know sometimes with his dad coaching in his corner, his dad can get him very fired up at times. And
dude, he should be fighting instead.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, because that dude is his dad is just, oh my gosh, is just a ball of energy. And I don't see how Devin Clark isn't ready to run through a wall. I mean, just every time he goes out there. But good wrestler, good athlete. He's got pretty good hands. The only thing that worries me for Devin Clark is that sometimes he can be a little chinny, and sometimes he might take a risk that he might not need to have taken, and he makes a lot of mistakes that cost him in fights. I think Kennedy and Nzechukwu, he kind of middled out there for a little bit, but he's kind of been able to put a couple performances together back and back. And I believe, oh my gosh, and I keep forgetting his name, the guy who Carlos Ulberg just knocked out. The big the guy with the beard, he beat Ihor Patera. Man, because that's who Kenny Nzechukwu lost to. I believe that's his last loss. But I thought Nzechukwu won that fight as well. Holy shit, I don't know why I can't remember his name.
Negamarianu.
Yeah, Negamarianu. Yeah, I thought Nzechukwu won that fight, and I thought he got robbed on the scorecard. So I think he should have
told me like the bigger Mikhail Olszewski. I would have been like, oh, that's Negamarianu. Like I would have just knew it because it's the same guy.
yeah, similar for sure. But I thought Nzechukwu won that fight, so I think technically he's won 3 fights in a row. That fight against Kutulaba really showed that he's put it all together, knows how to defend against a wrestler. To me, I think you could potentially see if Devin Clark goes for a takedown. You can see a knee coming from Nzechukwu or an uppercut. I think Nzechukwu is the better athlete here, much bigger guy, pretty significant reach advantage. I definitely think this is Nzechukwu's fight to lose. So Nzechukwu should get the win here.
All right, man. You kind of reinforced my lean opposed to swaying me off. The only reason why I'm not sure, dude, is because I don't understand how you take all of Carlos Ulberg's punches, dude, until the 3rd round. You just absorb them all, until the 3rd round, and then you come out and just knuckle up Carlos Ulberg, and you see the power that Carlos Ulberg has, and then I believe in the very next fight, you get elbowed through your guard against Da Jung and just knocked out with not even a clean shot, dude. So it's hard for me to call these Kennedy fights, dude. I wish I could, to be honest. I try my hardest. I'm still going to go Kennedy this week just because I think he's the better overall around fighter. Dorian reinforced my opinion. I'm going Kennedy, probably by 3rd round knockout or decision.
Yeah, I'd say probably by knockout.
All right, moving on up. Next fight of the night, we got Drew Dober taking on the Steamroller, Matt Frabola. Drew Dober, 26-11, won 3 of his last 5. So has the Steamroller, though, and he is 10-3-1 overall. Drew Dober, the -220 favorite. The Steamroller is a +180 dog. 34 years old, 5'8" and 70-inch reach for Drew Dober. The Steamroller is 32 years old, 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. I'm sorry. Dorian, my most confident play this week is Drew Dober by finish, dude. I got Drew Dober winning this fight. Who you got?
This definitely should be a banger, and I definitely think
Dude,
for as
go
long
ahead
as
and
it
plug up
lasts.
my cord real quick because I see me starting to lag here and there.
Yeah, as long as it lasts, it should be a really good fight. What's kind of throwing me off here, man, is that I did not realize that Frivola was actually the taller, or I guess based on the measurements that I'm seeing right here, is that he's the taller fighter by an inch and has the longer reach. So, just something that is taking me a minute to kind of wrap my head around. But
Has that ever
um,
mattered in a Drew Dober fight? Has he ever been the bigger guy?
I think muscle mass wise, yeah, he's
I
been the
mean,
bigger.
by length and reach.
Maybe Alexander Hernandez. I'm not 100% sure if
But pretty
he was
much
bigger than
never
him.
though. He's always the shorter guy with less reach. And
Yeah,
exactly, Lush Main and Kyle says saying it right here, fight of the night and Crimson Chin indeed. Yeah, that's dude. This is going to be an absolute banger. Like as I said, I got Drew Dober. Sorry for interrupting you, man.
yeah, no, man, going back and forth, man. I don't know. Let's go, Drew Dober. But man, for some reason, Fravola's he's been coming along, putting the fights together too. So I just wouldn't be surprised.
Dude, but you see who he beat. It was Ottoman Azatar. That is the trash can that he is. And Granado Valdez, who is that? Got crushed by Terrence McKinney in 7 seconds, dude. And Armin Sarjukin's really good, so let's not pretend that. And then B. Luis Pena, who's not in the UFC by split decision, dude. I don't think there's a way that Drew Dober does not win this fight this weekend, dude. I got Drew Dober 100%. But that might be the one this week that shits on all my parlays because I got Drew Dober in all of them, dude. This is what happens for me, dude. Moving on up, next fight of the night, we got Crone Gracie making his return after, I think, 3 or 4 years to taking on Charles Ayer Jourdain. Crone Gracie 5-1, won 4 of his last 5, but his last fight was 3 years and 6 months ago where he lost a unanimous decision, dude. He got picked apart against Cub Swanson, all 3 rounds, dude. But before that, won all of his fights via sub. Before that, going to be taking on Charles Ayer Jourdain. 13-6-1 and won 2 of his last 5, dude. He's better than what his record shows, dude. He is a pure entertainment. But Crone Gracie, 34 years old, 5'9", 70-inch reach. Charles Ayer Jourdain, 27 years old, 5'9", with a 69-inch reach, dude. I want to go Charles Ayer Jourdain so bad here this week, dude. He is a minus 200 favorite. Crone Gracie plus 160 dog. Dude, but something tells me that he's going to want to. I feel like he plays around too much. Like he has the opportunity like to finish some fights and he draws it out more than he needs to because he enjoys the fight. I hope that he doesn't try to play into Crone Gracie's game, or I just hope he doesn't entertain it. I hope Charles Jourdain stays at distance the entire fight, picks him apart, knocks him down multiple times, maybe even a knockout. I'm just worried that he doesn't do it, dude. I am going Charles Ayer Jourdain here. I'm not the most confident in the world because I could see him just fucking around for just a second and end up getting subbed because I think it's happened before. Yeah. Who you got this week, man?
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I'm going with Charles Jourdain here, but I do think that Crone, he is a little bit older now, but he, taking that time off, I would have to think he had spent a lot of time getting better and, just kind of working on his game a little bit. And I do think that one of Charles Jourdain's holes in his games is getting taken down, and he has been submitted before, so. It's not like I know he said he's worked on the jiu-jitsu a lot, so if he has, I think that as long as he can use it as defense, I think he can definitely defend himself and keep it on the feet and should be able to pick Crone apart. But it's the only thing that worries me being a Charles Jourdain fan is if he gets to the ground. But let's go Charles Jourdain here.
Yeah, I'm just worried that he gets too confident. Like, hey, I got some ground game too, and then he tries to go down there and ends up getting fucking sub, dude. Because I could for sure see him doing some shit like that. Because that's what Charles Jourdain does. Up next, dude. We got Movsar Evloev going to be taking on Diego Lopes, dude. Lopes, whatever you want to call it. Movsar Evloev, 16-0, dude. Never lost a fight. Diego Lopez, 21-5. Obviously, Movsar has won all of his last 5. Diego Lopes won 3 of his last 5. He is taking this fight on short notice, so keep that in mind. We don't have any odds here. 29 years old for Movsar Evloev, 5'7" with a 72-inch reach. Diego Lopes is 28 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. So Diego Lopes will have a pretty big height advantage here, but about the same reach, actually a half-inch reach to Movsar Evloev. Being that this fight is on super late notice, and I don't know anything about Diego Lopez, I'm not going to pretend I do. I got to go with the undefeated Russian. That is Movsar Evloev. And I'm glad Kyle pointed that out. He does have that Amanda Lemos haircut, don't he?
Yeah, nah, definitely the Karen.
Lopes.
Yeah, definitely got Karen vibes for sure. Like, yeah, he definitely about to tell the manager on somebody out there. That's for sure.
Who you picking this week, man?
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be a question here. Movsar, yeah, I'm not even going to drag it no more than that. Movsar should be the pick, man. Man, that's a brutal cut. If anything, for that haircut alone, you deserve to lose. Like, yeah, you definitely do not deserve the one with that haircut.
All right, dude. Feature fight of the night. I'm actually excited. This is probably my second one that I'm most confident in, dude. We got Estaca, Jessica Andrade taking on. Was that right? Oh, it's 9. No, I think 9 Yan Xiaonan. Who is Wu? I think it's
Yan Xiaonan, right?
No, I'm getting her confused with Mulan Wu Yaonan. That's her name. Her name was Wu Yaonan, and her fighting name is Mulan. Yeah, so I got it confused. It's okay. We got 9 Yan Xiaonan taking on Estaca, Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade, 24-10. Won 3 of her last 5. Wu Yaonan, 16-3. Won 3 of her last 5 as well. Estaca, Jessica Andrade, 31 years old, the meanest 5'1" package on this earth, with a 62-inch reach. Yan Xiaonan is 33 years old, 5'5" with a 63-inch reach. Dude, I got Jessica Andrade. Dude, I'm not even saying knockout. I'm saying Jessica Andrade by finish this week, because I could see her subbing her too. It wouldn't surprise me too much, because let's not pretend like Yan Xiaonan's got good ground game. Y'all saw what Carla Esparza did to her. I got Jessica Andrade by finish. I don't know if it's going to be a sub or a knockout, but Jessica Andrade getting Yan Xiaonan out of there this week. Which way you going?
Man, this one's definitely tough. And
said he's about to write a letter.
Yeah, seriously, it feels like it. And Yan Xiaonan, she's definitely a potent striker. She's definitely crisp, fast. And for Andrade, we know the absolute pit bull that she is. Just moves forward nonstop. Just throws hooks, haymakers. Good wrestler, good submissions. She's got all that, the complete package. Man, I am gonna have to go on there on a limb though, man. I think Yan Xiaonan actually does have the ability to be able to get it done. She has the footwork. I think she's quicker with the hands, and she's a little bit more technical with the hands. I think as long as she can use her footwork, stay on the outside, I think she can actually get a decision win here, man. So as long as she doesn't get taken down, I think use good footwork, frustrate Andrade, don't get hit with the big shot, and get out of there with a clean decision. Let's go, Yan Xiaonan.
No, you're not, dude. Don't lie to me. You're not picking Yan Xiaonan. I need to see your face to make sure you're not like laughing right now.
Dude, let's do it. Because
serious. You're picking Yan Xiaonan to beat Jessica Andrade.
Because I do think that, man, I don't know. Maybe it was a little bit of that Blanchfield fight. Maybe in that last fight, it kind of surprised me a little bit, dude.
Her titties, remember?
Yeah, but her titties falling out don't explain her face getting titty tuned up when she was getting tuned up there a little bit by Aaron Blanchfield, man. So, and I think Yan Xiaonan's obviously the more clean striker than Aaron Blanchfield is. So I think if he got that, when Yan Xiaonan plus a little bit better footwork, I think you can see a clean performance here from Yan. Let's go Yan Xiaonan.
I'm going with the shoulders of Jessica Andrade. Is that our third different pick this week, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, he picked Halls and Xiaonan. Exactly, dude. I can't believe you picked Halls and Yan Xiaonan, dude.
Who picked Phil Halls?
You picked Phil Halls.
Hell no. Ain't nobody picked Phil Halls.
Co-main event of the evening. Bilal, remember the name Muhammad, going to be taking on Gilbert Durinho Burns. Bilal Muhammad, 22-3. Gilbert Burns, 22-5. Bilal Muhammad won 4 of his last 5 with the eye poke to Leon Edwards there with the no contest. He was going to lose that one, though. Let's be real. Gilbert Burns won 3 of his last 5. Only losses are to Khamzat Chimaev and Kamaru Usman. Dude, this is a near even fight. That's surprising. Is this actual odds right now? Bilal Muhammad plus 105 dog, Gilbert Burns minus 130 favorite. That's actual odds right now.
Yeah, that's about. I see minus 120 Burns plus 110 for Bilal. So that's going to be about right. That's going to be about right everywhere.
Yeah. Bilal Muhammad, 34 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach, dude. And this surprised me because I thought Gilbert Burns was going to be a lot smaller. Gilbert Burns, 36 years old, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach, dude. They're going to be about the same size here. I was going to lean Bilal if he had a little bit of the size advantage, dude, because he has good wrestling and his hands did impress me a little bit against Sean Brady, dude. I got to go Gilbert Burns, them being the exact same size and not even a 2-1 favorite either. Give me Durinho Burns this week, probably by decision, though.
Yeah, I definitely think this is the fight that, as I know Kyle and myself called for this one.
Kyle wanted that where you can find one of those titty tune-ups.
Man, I was at once I find them, I'll let you know. I was at Kyle. I can't keep you out on the secret, man. As soon as I find them, I'll let you in on it, man. But no, I actually this is the fight that me and Kyle both of ourselves had called for. We wanted to see this fight. It made the most sense for the division as far as what's next, and Colby's going to get the fight for Leon. We know that. We know that it's going to be Colby, but I think as far as who's next, this fight, the winner of this fight will be the clear decider of who is next for the title shot after Leon and Colby fight. So I do think that both fighters are going to have their advantages here. Bilal looked as good as he ever had against Sean Brady in that last fight. His hands were crisp as could be. His wrestling defense was on point. It was one of the things that I really told you about what Bilal was, his wrestling defense, and I thought that he was going to be able to defend well. And Gilbert Burns, we know that he's explosive, good hands. We know his submissions are absolutely wild. His wrestling is getting even better. So he's definitely putting a lot of it together. As far as the winner, man, a 5-round fight. So don't forget that as well. It's actually slated to be a 5-round fight. Man, Burns has been active this year. 3 fights already. And that was actually one of the stains that I've had.
5-round fight. I'm actually glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
So it still doesn't change my opinion, though. I still got Gilbert Burns, though.
Yeah, 5-round fight. So for me, that definitely does change it for me. And I think with the way Gilbert Burns has been active, I think it ends up taking a toll on him. And I think Bilal Muhammad, I think he's a little bit more fresh at the moment right now. I know he's going through Ramadan, so he's a little more weight ready than I think people might assume. Right. Right, but I mean, I think he might be a little more weight ready than people are thinking. That people are thinking he's going to have to cut all this weight. Maybe he doesn't have to cut as much weight because he's been managing his weight. Because one, been waiting on an opportunity, and two, he's been going through Ramadan, so he naturally hadn't put on too much weight anyway. So I think, long story short, Bilal Muhammad, 5 rounds. I think that favors him, and I think he gets it done.
Is that our 4th different pick this week, man?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough, dude. That being said, let's move on up to the main event of the evening. Are we going to pick different here? I guess we'll see. Main event of the evening. If y'all haven't, hit that thumbs up button. Help your boys out. That would be fantastic. If you are enjoying this, maybe YouTube will recommend it to someone else that they might enjoy it. So help us out. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are not. All that good shit. We like to read the comments, pop y'all up here on the screen, and interact with y'all. It's always a fun time in here. That being said, main event of the evening. We got Aljamain, the Funk Master Sterling, taking on Triple C, Henry Cejudo, or the Messenger. Which one does he go by? Triple C or the Messenger? I guess we'll see. Anyway, Aljamain Sterling won all 5 of his last 5, but so has Henry Cejudo. Aljamain Sterling 22-3, Henry Cejudo 16-2. This is a near even fight, back and forth, man. Minus 110 apiece. Aljamain Sterling, 33 years old, 5'7" with a 71-inch reach. Henry Cejudo, 36 years old, 5'4" with a 67-inch reach, dude. And I've been saying this for the longest, dude. Henry Cejudo is one of the best minds in the game. He's going to beat a lot of people just strictly off his knowledge and his way, able to break down and have the perfect game plan for a fight. I think he's a genius when it comes to fighting. I think he could probably beat most people at 135, if not all of them, dude. And probably a lot of people up at 145. Where I think he runs into issues is when he fights Alexander Volkanovski, who I also think is another fight genius. He is a genius on the feet. He breaks people down, knows exactly what to do, is able to adjust mid-fight. Henry Cejudo and Alexander Volkanovski, I look at 2 of the greatest minds in the fight game, dude. And that being said, I gotta continue to pick Henry Cejudo as my gut has been feeling for since the 2 months that this fight has been announced now. I got Henry Cejudo. I don't know if he's going to decision finish. I'm straight up just picking Henry. Which way are you going this week, man?
Man, this is definitely an exciting fight.
Lush Lane, Funk Master.
Hey, listen, the comments are getting a little split too there. So, yeah. I mean, it's definitely, and I think the betting line shows that too, that a lot of people are split because obviously it's an even money fight right now. We don't really see that too much in championship fights. And I think a big part of it is that we don't know what to expect from Cejudo coming off of a 3-year layoff. And his last fight was against Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz at that point, he was a little more fresh then than he is now, but at least now he's been more active than he was at that point. Dominic Cruz is coming off a 4-year layoff. So I think for Cejudo coming in off a 3-year layoff, I know that, a great mind of the game. Thought I was gonna have to sneeze for a second there, but I know great mind of the game. But let's not forget. I mean, Aljamain Sterling, I know his YouTube channel isn't as successful, whatever the case may be, but he is also very good at breaking down fights after they happen and breaking down fights before they happen. As far as just being able to put together a game plan, as far as how he thinks fights can unveil and what guys can do to get better and things of that nature as well. He does. He's got a very sharp mind as well, and I think not enough people are giving Aljamain Sterling credit for that. He is the younger guy. He is the significantly bigger guy than Henry Cejudo. Like, that's not even going to be close on who's going to be the bigger guy. I think really the advantage that Cejudo is going to have from his past is the speed advantage, but 3 years off in the game, 36 years old at 135, is that speed going to translate 3 years later? I'm not 100% sure right now, and I think Aljo's got a lot of momentum on him right now, and I think that I heard his coach Ray Longo even admit that they think that Sean O'Malley would be the money fight as far as what would be the bigger paycheck and also the easier fight, but they think that the Cejudo fight will cement his legacy as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, 135er of all time. And I think it does just that. And I think for Sterling, I don't know if he gets to finish against Cejudo. Cejudo's super tough to submit. I don't think Sterling's got the hands to finish him, but that size advantage, man, I just think Cejudo is going to have a hard time getting around it. I don't think he's going to be able to wrestle Aljamain. Aljamain's got a good gas tank as well. I just think that size is just going to be too much for Cejudo at the end, and I think Aljo gets it done.
It's definitely possible. Lush Lemaine saying, listen to Henry at the press conference. He sounds sick. You do have to keep in mind that when these fighters are cutting weight, it's really harsh on their throat. Like their throat's always real dry because they're not drinking a whole bunch of water and everything. One really famous person for this was always Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley always sounded like he was like, I was like, bro, is he going to make it to the fight? And he always like made it to the fight, but he always sounded awful fight week. Every single fight week in all the interviews, he just sounded awful. So in our main event, D Rose going the Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling. And you know, Dorian, I've picked Aljo to win his past 3 fights against Peter Yan both times. He won even though it was by disqualification. I picked him to beat him in the rematch, and then I picked him to beat up TJ Dillashaw, and all 3 of those happened, dude. I just feel like this is a tough ass, dude. Henry's really, really good, and I just have a hard time seeing him lose to Aljamain Sterling. That being said, dude, that is our 5 different picks of the week. So let me go back here for just a second, and we'll rename them all for y'all. So pick number 5 this week. Dorian is going Aljamain Sterling. I am going Henry Triple C Cejudo. Our fourth different pick this week is going to be Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns. I am going Gilbert Burns. Dorian going Bilal Muhammad. Our third different pick is going to be Jessica Andrade versus Yan Xiaonan. I am going Jessica Andrade. Dorian is going Yan Xiaonan. Our fourth or second, I don't know. Help me out, Dorian. Where are we at? I know it was Braxton Smith, Parker Porter. What was the other one?
Was
it Johnny?
What was
Munoz
the first fight?
Jr.? Johnny Munoz Jr., Daniel Santos. I went Willie Cat. Dorian went
Johnny No.
Zalgas Estevam. Oh, it was that one. Yeah. All right. So our 5 different picks this weekend. I picked Zalgas Zumagulov. Dorian picked Rafael Estevam. Our second different pick is Parker Porter versus Braxton Smith. I picked Parker Porter. Dorian picked Braxton Smith. Our third different one is
Yan Xiaonan and
Jessica Andrade. Fourth one, Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns, and fifth one, Aljamain Sterling, Henry Cejudo. Why did I want to think that you picked Steamroller versus the Drew fight? Like
I was contemplating it.
Yeah.
I was contemplating it.
I was like, did he pick that one? So yeah, so that is our 5 different picks. Dorian will have a chance to win the pick champ back this next week. But once again, Dorian with the shit picks. It's staying here. I can't believe you're not confident in Drew Dober. And you picked against Jessica Andrade, dude. That's your girl. I cannot believe.
That is my girl, man. But I can notice her flaws sometimes too, and that was a quick turnaround from the Aaron Blanchfield fight too. So that's the one that's kind of got me worried too. Was that the fight wasn't that long ago and she got tuned up.
And then right before that was the Lauren Murphy after there's no way her.
Well, that was
There's no way her hands weren't broken after busting up Lauren Murphy like 2 weeks before that.
I was getting ready to say, but she took absolutely no damage in that Lauren Murphy fight, so I almost don't even count that one. But yeah, definitely that Aaron fight, she got tuned up a little bit, and like a month and a half later, she's back at it again. So, fighters taking fights that quick. As your boy Charles Johnson, it doesn't weigh on them good, man, when they take fights in such quick succession like that.
Yeah, Kyle's just saying Henry may have been inactive in the official octagon, but he has gotten in rounds with literally the best guys in the world. That's true, dude. He's been training John Jones. Who else was there? I know Davison was there. Yuri was there.
Whaley.
Yeah, Whaley. Dude, he's a fight genius. I'm just hoping that it transfers to the fight this weekend and he brings it back. Austin saying he's only sick of watching scrubs walk around with his belt. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. We just need the sugar show to get that title shot, and I'll be happy. Bilal getting the strap by the end of the year. I don't know. It depends. Like, I don't think Bilal is getting a title shot without having to fight Shavkat, if not fighting Shavkat for the title, dude. It's going to be a tough one to get around because he really dodged a bullet having to fight Shavkat and got Gilbert Burns instead. And I know it's crazy to sound like an easier fight is Gilbert Burns, but yes, the easier fight for Bilal Muhammad is Gilbert Burns over Shavkat. Dorian, do you agree or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but I think as far as the fight that makes the most sense for Bilal Muhammad too, I mean, why would you want to fight down against Shavkat, who hasn't fought as much top competition and who isn't as big of a name, whereas Gilbert Burns is a top 5 ranked guy. Is going to get you closer to the title shot and is one of the bigger name guys in the division, if not the sport. A lot of people know Gilbert Burns. If you ask people who Shavkat is, a lot of people that are hardcore know Shavkat, but not real fans. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a fight that makes sense for the division, in my opinion.
All right, fair enough. So, made our picks this weekend. Every single fight. Gave you our thoughts and opinions. We've been here hour and 45 today, a little bit longer than usual. But Dorian, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything. But if the pay-per-view is good this weekend, you want to do a post-fight either Saturday night?
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you the same thing. I'd be down if you're down.
Yeah, so y'all, if the pay-per-view is good, it's worthy of a immediate recap, then we'll be here live Saturday night after the fights, or Sunday morning, wherever y'all are at, right after the fights. We'll be probably 20-30 minutes after, maybe an hour after. We'll be here live talking about the fights, but if they're good. If not, then we'll just recap next Wednesday. Yeah, but anything else before we get out of here, man? I'll let you know my schedule for the rest of the week.
Nah, man, we are good to go and go pod today, man.
Hell yeah. So if you don't know, I will be here this upcoming Friday for Change the Cheddar. Dorian, you are more than welcome to join me if you want to, but I know you got to work, you got a family, you got all that shit. I'll be here live Friday, 9 p.m. for Change the Cheddar. I'm going to try to give y'all $10 worth of bets to win y'all $100 this weekend, or at least give y'all my bets that I'm going to waste my money on at least. But yeah, I will be here Friday for that. Another UFC 2023 Prism coming at y'all this upcoming Monday. And then podcast this upcoming Wednesday. You know how it goes. It keeps on rolling over here. I'm grinding away. I will not let this die. I'm going to be here every single week and just keep grinding away, y'all, because I feel like there's enough of y'all that just like to hear this guy talking open cards and shit like that. So once again, I truly appreciate every single one of y'all that just stop by here just to say what's up every week, just like watch the videos, because it's just cool, because I actually enjoy doing this. And one day I hope to make a thing of this. So with that being said, I'm not going to ramble on anymore. D Rose is on that side of your screen. I am Matt. I'll catch y'all later on in the week. D Rose will see you next week, or I'll see you this upcoming Saturday if the pay-per-view is good. But that's going to be all from us here this time. Matt, D Rose on that side of your screen. This is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.